Apologies for that delay, guys, and welcome. We are live once again with Spoiler Warning. I'm Tom Colohue, and we are here to talk wrestling news as per always, and we have plenty of wrestling news to talk about. Our headlines today start with Linda McMahon's appointment by Donald Trump. We are going to talk Roman Reigns being retired from SmackDown. We're going to talk a little bit about my targets were, which we smashed for new Blue Sky and TikTok accounts. We're going to talk Jake Paul, an interest in him by the WWE. We're going to talk the closure of the WWE Network, Kylie Rae being signed to a WWE ID contract, as well as the WWE renewing its ownership of Edge, but not like that. We're going to talk MVP's final wrestling contract, as well as AEW, moving to smaller wrestling venues going forwards. Those are our headlines, and we will be diving into our top piece of news. But before we do that, I do just want to reiterate a few of the different ways that we are doing things at the moment. With YouTube not monetized, we did reach our goal of 1 million views. I wanted to explore a few different platforms and see what they could give to us. I explored, as you know, Twitter for a little while, its live service, which got a few views but did not grow as on Twitter or in fact grow as anywhere else, so it didn't quite work out for us. Next up on the docket is TikTok. Right there, I've got a camera lined up for TikTok because for some reason it won't let me multi-stream to TikTok. I can't find my stream key. If anyone does know where to find a stream key on TikTok, please, God, let me know. It would be really, really helpful because then I wouldn't have to have two separate cameras. But I'm going to press the go live now. I wanted to just sort of talk to you guys first, smooth the transition, and let you know that you're still going to be my main priority. It wants me to confirm my age. How doth one do that? What's my date of birth? We all know that, of course. It is, say it with me, the 7th of the 7th. Well done. And I have to scroll much longer than I would like in order to reach the year. Much longer than I'd like. Oh, okay. Wow. You want a selfie of my ID? Forget that. We're not going live on TikTok. Why would anyone do that? They want my birth certificate. They want everything. I'm trying to make this work, guys. I'm trying to make this work. But no. So I suppose you'll just have to deal with this old face the entire time. 43 people here on the YouTube side, 15 likes. Be sure to hit that thumbs up. Welcome everyone. So lots of eyes there. Welcome Sean, welcome Michael on the Twitch side. Also plenty of people on the YouTube. Liam, Chris, Cecil, Juan, Marcel, Everton, welcome to the show. Garmac, welcome as well. Declan says, I hope everyone had a great week. Hello, Tom. Hello, Declan. Ed says, hey, Tom. Welcome, Ed. Good to see you. Rickan says, will Seth be on SmackDown tonight? We will find out. Sid says, do you see Logan Paul versus Mike Tyson at WrestleMania 41? No, but we'll get into more detail. Ed, so close. So close. How old do you think I am? And Mari says, yes, Tom, how are you doing today? Doing very well, thank you. Michael just says, maybe, in response to something being said by Spider-Boss. Sean says, hello, Tom. Welcome, Sean. Erin says, hope everyone has had a good day. I have, Erin. I certainly have. Welcome. P says, easy to set up a vertical stream from OBS via virtual camera to TikTok if you have your stream key, which I do not. That's the issue that I'm having. Spider-Boss says the stream isn't working. What, on Twitch? Streaming to both. Interesting. Not sure what's going on there. Is anyone else experiencing any problems on the Twitch side? No, Ed. No, I do not. How dare you? The Twitch stream isn't up. Okay, wonderful. Things definitely not working well then. Thank you for coming over, Michael, for that one. Because, by God, I tried, guys. It just seems like at the moment, nothing's working. What's my actual Twitch username? Is it Tom Colohue or just Colohue? Do you just type twitch.tv/? I seem to have found myself. Pete, the main reason I'm saying I need a stream key to stream on TikTok is because it keeps telling me I need a stream key to stream on TikTok. I don't really know what else to say to that. Yeah, that's not come through for some reason. That's dumb, and not something I can fix while I'm live. Wonderful. Okay, we'll try and make that one work. Thank you for coming over, Michael. Juan says, hey, Tom, since AEW is now moving to a small arenas, we will discuss that later. Amari says, who do you think will be the 5th member of the OG Bloodline? Discussed that last week. Sean says, what do you believe happens to Andre Chase, Duke Hudson, Riley Osborne? I don't watch NXT enough to speculate. Andrew says, how are you doing? Hope you're having a great day. So far, so good, apart from what the hell is going on with TikTok. And Twitch now. Got a notification for Twitch, but it's not there. Yeah, I had to go live, then I had to not go live, then I had to go live again. Dunno. Everton says, do you expect Montez Ford to get a singles push soon? No. So it's a stream key, click the red, thank you. Save and go live button, your live stream dashboard will appear. Don't worry, you're not live yet. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see your server, URL, and stream key. Tried that, didn't work. It's just asked me to verify my age instead. So I suspect I've got to do that first, which I'm not going to do while I'm live. Pete, once again, I can only tell you my experience, which is that it tells me that I need it. I don't know why you've chosen to leave now, but okay. Hector says, afternoon Tom, don't you love how wrestling media thought the headline of Linda and Vince McMahon no longer together was worth a write-up? The well must be dry these days. I cannot argue with that. Mainstream media is not caught on, and that is in fact our top story, because mainstream media is catching on. The appointment of Linda McMahon by Donald Trump to Education Secretary comes with a whole load of extra spotlight that the WWE and in fact Vince McMahon were not necessarily looking for. Vince McMahon was looking to rebuild his image, rehabilitate yourself, etc. in order to make this work, and that creates its own difficulties because you are now of course hearing mainstream media like the New York Times reporting on the Ring Boys scandal, which in WWE Pantheon, in wrestling fan Pantheon, has been done so to death that it's been largely forgotten about. Never a good thing for a scandal like that to be forgotten about, but it has been. I'm told that mainstream media outlets, including the big names like New York Times and the BBC, have media planning to run numerous reports to catch people up on what's been going on with the WWE in their absence. That includes talks about steroid abuse and, of course, Janel Grant's allegations against both Vince McMahon and the WWE. So expect all of this to be brought up in the wake of Linda McMahon's appointment. Now, Vince McMahon's attempts to rehabilitate his image very much depend on Donald Trump and the success of Linda McMahon's appointment. We've already seen how far he got with Matt Gaetz, after all. When it comes to Linda McMahon, she's not currently aligned to the WWE in any way, beyond some money that she makes from shares that she still holds, some of which are in Vince McMahon's name. So there's a lot at play there as to how Linda McMahon might benefit. But when it comes to Linda McMahon, expect to hear a lot about the WWE in the days to come. This is not a trick. This is not a system. This will be Linda McMahon disavowing the WWE to get her away from the depth of scandal that is about to become the key factor in the assignment to Education Secretary for Linda McMahon. Outside of WWE, her business interests are not widely known and not widely profitable, so WWE will be the one that hits the ground running. Declan saw a picture of Seth and Becky. Cool. Kelly says, hello Tom, I made it tonight. Welcome Kelly, good to see you. Sean says, do you have anything on Tony Storm's retirement announcement? No, because it's not a retirement announcement. Come on, man. Andrew said, it's technology, what can you expect? Yeah. Frustrating. Very frustrating. There are difficulties in the live stream system. It also seems like Streamlabs I should say, has just changed the way it does things, because I use the Streamlabs version of OBS because that allows me to dual stream. However, there seems to be limitations to the dual stream now, but at the same time, there's also good news. Because now, it's finally going to let me stream in different manners. It will let me vertical stream and horizontal stream, so I can stream to shorts too. But it's not letting me stream to shorts. It's just going to make me stream vertically on Twitch as well. So it doesn't make any sense, and it's probably one of the reasons I didn't quite nail what's been going on to try and make it work on Twitch. But guys, there's a lot happening right now, and I'm trying my best. So I appreciate your patience. Daniel says, afternoon everyone. Afternoon, Daniel. Sean says, Soraya recently revealed she's on a bit of a break from AEW right now. And Razar says they're actually trying to get rid of the Department of Education, so it's interesting. Linda will be in charge of that. Won't be a good look for WWE to be attached to that in any way. I doubt they would get rid of it. I would suspect they're just going to change it. After all, Project 2025 means that Donald Trump is in charge of education. Drive-by says, evening all. Don't forget to hit the likes. Hunter Riggy says, Tom Colohue, what are your thoughts on Linda McMahon joining Donald Trump's team? I have no thoughts on this because we all knew what was going to happen. BM, I'm having a few problems, yes, with the Twitch side. Everton says, will Jake Paul appear at any pay-per-views in the future? That is going to be one of our stories shortly. And Damien says, when will the WWE UK tickets go on sale? Relatively soon. There is consistent tours happening, so it should be relatively soon as everything is booked and ready to go. Declan says, Kylie Rae got an ID contract for the WWE. More on that shortly. Let's get to our next piece of news then. And that is plans for Roman Reigns. I've spoken about this at depth recently, but I want to clarify the position because suddenly, because of a report by WrestleVotes, people are thinking we might see Roman Reigns on Raw. Imagine where they might have heard that before. Roman Reigns, the intention would be to have him retired from SmackDown by Solo Sikoa. This was a plan as of this year's WrestleMania. Just afterwards, the plan was laid out with The Rock, with Solo Sikoa, with their build as they develop. Solo Sikoa naturally becoming the next tribal chief. There will be a well-established tribal combat match. That was a plan, tribal combat for the tribal chiefdom at WrestleMania, with Solo Sikoa winning, banishing Roman Reigns from SmackDown, which then moves him onto Raw for Netflix. In the meantime, between the Netflix debut on Raw and WrestleMania, when the plan was after WrestleMania to have the draft, which would justify this move, we are going to see a lot of Roman Reigns on both sides, sparingly on SmackDown, but they're still building to Solo Sikoa getting the big push. So there will still be plenty of Roman Reigns on both sides. Essentially, the wild card rule is back. And you know who else is going to be on both? The Rock and Cody Rhodes. We're also going to see plenty of John Cena that we can dive into and hopefully really enjoy as well. So, Roman Reigns, the plan seems to very much be a retirement from SmackDown that will see him appear almost immediately once again on Raw. Hunter, I can't really comment on that one. There's no way to guarantee an answer. It really does depend on the individual whims of a madman. Robin Dave says Roman has been on SmackDown for almost in the entire month. It's amazing. Yep, that's why he's taking continual sporadic breaks, and that's why I was able to report quite a while ago that Roman Reigns would return for SummerSlam. Sean says, are WWE ID contract WWE contracts? Yes, they are. With a WWE ID contract, WWE has first refusal, meaning that you have signed a contract with the WWE. Now, it is not a main roster contract. It is not a guaranteed downside. A guaranteed... I've forgotten the phrase. It is not a guaranteed income from WWE. That does not kick in for a while, or unless the WWE decides not to. But it is an exclusivity deal with the WWE. You will continue to compete on independent circuit, but there is, in every WWE ID contract, a list of the different companies that you cannot work for. One of those, as I was going to mention earlier, is AEW, but TNA is not one of them, which is interesting to me. AEW you cannot work for, New Japan you cannot work for. There is confidence from the WWE that you can and should work with TNA, but it will be only if the WWE want this to happen. Kylie Rae's signature is a move to lock her down and prevent her from returning to AEW or working with a company under Bushiroad such as Stardom. That said, from what I've been told on reaching out as to why she wasn't just given a full-term contract, WWE do not believe that she's mentally ready for the spotlight that would come with a main roster WWE debut. They are said to be willing to wait, and that is why this contract was signed. No worries, Kelly, not a worry whatsoever, because they would not have exclusivity without an actual physical signature. WWE ID contracts are WWE contracts. So it says, I wouldn't sign Kylie Rae to WWE ID, I'd sign her to NXT. Too good not to be signed and be on NXT. As I say, they do not believe she's mentally ready for that spotlight. Everton says, will the OG Bloodline join Roman on Raw or will Roman go solo? Roman will be solo to an extent. I do believe that it will be the end of the OG Bloodline, but they will still go their own way. Rickan says, who do you see as Cena's first opponent? Probably Randy, to be honest, because he's right there, though I do feel a match with Kevin Owens will come sooner rather than later. The other Mike says, what up, Tom? I'm a bit late. What was the first bit of news? The first bit of news was as regards Linda McMahon's appointment by Donald Trump, shining a spotlight on the WWE that they do not want, especially with so many investigations actively ongoing as we speak. Hector says, I wonder if Tony Khan truly thinks booking the Costco guys is a legit good idea. I get it, they're extremely popular, but I don't think that's how you prove that AEW is legit competition to WWE. I think, Hector, you answered your own question there by talking about them. Certainly this has got a lot of people paying attention, and I do think people likely said this exact same thing about people like Pat McAfee and Logan Paul. And Bad Bunny. Worked out. Sean says, do you see Jordan Grace and Joe Hendry on WWE ID contracts? Nope, they're currently on WWE contracts. Hello, Calvin. Hector says, I assume Noah and GCW are companies WWE ID competitors can work with still. I don't have the full list. I only know the clarified companies that you cannot work for, that being AEW and Bushiroad companies such as New Japan and Stardom. If we see these people popping up in those companies, it means that the WWE have turned down their first refusal. Sid says, will Netflix get all the PLEs in the UK? Yep. Declan says, I missed the women's NXT tag titles. Yeah, didn't really work out there, and right now you've got a hell of a division for it. Rickan, I don't know who else will have WWE ID contracts. Sid said the UK stream is going perfect. Fantastic. Thank you, Sid. Seems to be the only one at the moment because overall Twitch and TikTok I've not quite mastered as of yet. And I do apologise for that. Robin Dave says, do you think Seth Rollins will join War Games? Not sure on that one just yet, but it seems the obvious choice. I'm still kind of leaning towards Cody myself. Sid says, who would you see John Cena face that he's never faced before? He's kind of faced everyone, but I'd still put him against Cody. Too true. Calvin says, do you see the brand split ending soon? Triple H is not a fan of the brand split. He would like it to end as soon as possible. That day may well come. Michael says, WWE was largely built off celebrity appearances. True. Cyndi Lauper, Muhammad Ali, Mr. T, etc. I still don't like the Costco guys in AEW. To be fair, if you're trying to be an alternative to WWE, this isn't the way to do it. It does feel a bit more like WCW. Do you remember Jay Leno? Yeah, that was a thing. That was a hell of a thing. 64 people watching, 23 likes. 2 more gets to 25. I want to talk briefly and implore you to join the revolution. So I spoke recently about the suck and the blow social media. Okay? So the ones which we monetize, the ones which we make money from, Twitch, YouTube, etc., are the blow social media. They're the ones where I feel the benefit. There is also the suck social media, the ones that bring people in. Twitter, for example. I can get a lot of eyes on what I do through Twitter. If I shitpost, engagement farm, and, well, if I largely make stuff up. I'm not going to do any of those things, which is why I'm on Blue Sky now. But there's also TikTok, where we continue to grow well. A piece of content on there had more than 200,000 views, and that earned me about 7,000 likes. That's gotten a lot of attention also to this channel, because the link to this channel is in my profile on TikTok. I did say on Monday I had a target. 500 followers on Blue Sky within that first week. 500 followers on TikTok, going up from 300 just a week ago. We did it. 504 followers on TikTok. If you're not following there, please pop over and check it out. 578 followers on Blue Sky. If you're on Blue Sky, you can find me there, and I very much want you to do so to join the revolution. A lot of my content is going to be posted there now instead, as I try and master what I'm doing, what I'm working with, and how to make this a success. Dan, thank you for being here and reminding me that I did not respond to your messages. It was first thing in the morning. I saw them, then I started working. I forgot about them. I do apologize. I will get back to you. Blue Sky is a platform that we are now putting most of the focus on. And honestly, 149 posts in a week, you're getting a lot of stuff there. A lot of stuff. It's not all journalism, but well, it's not all wrestling, I should say, but it's all primarily journalism. I'm focusing on world events, pro wrestling, and gaming news. So please do pop across and check them out. It will be, I promise you, worth your time. Everton says, are WWE worried about the crashing of crashing of the stream on Netflix like the Tyson Paul fight. They've been given significant assurances. Gavin says, do you see A-Town Down Under playing a part in John Cena's retirement run? John Cena does want to help Austin Theory. I suspect he may be a catalyst for change without necessarily burying as he previously has unintentionally done. Hello, Millennial. How are you doing? So it says, would you like to see John Cena versus Gunter? Absolutely, I would. And Dan says, it looks like a warm snuggle you've got on. It is. Answer the door in this all the time. It's my wizard cloak. It's got pockets. Goes over the head. I always struggle with it, but it goes all the way down. -2, there's been snow. I need this. I need this. You can't take it away from me. Blue Sky is the most recent alternative to Twitter, Kelly. It is created by the same people who initially created Twitter, and I've got to say, so far so good. I'm following quite a few people to sort of get a feel for the place, to try and fill my timeline with the content I want to see on my timeline, and that also means as people start to engage with what I'm doing, I'm going to pop up in their Discover tab, I'm going to pop up in their Popular with Friends tab, and eventually, as I progress, I'm going to start popping up in their News tab, which is where all the good stuff's going to be. Michael says, I have 200 TikTok followers, but they're all fake wrestler bots. There's definitely some bots following me, but I'm still trying my best. Appreciate that, Kelly. Guy says, have you played 2K24? No, not really my thing. Not really my thing. Everton says, I still don't get why Theory and Solo beat Cena. Both led to nowhere. Cena should have won. Debatable there. Debatable. I just think, unfortunately, beating John Cena doesn't mean much anymore. It really doesn't. You do entertainment. You definitely do. Welcome, Nick. How you doing, mate? How you doing? Next up, then, Jake Paul is wanted by the WWE. I've reported on this a few times in the past, but he's back in the news, so let's reiterate and clarify. There are early hopes being put together to hype up an eventual Mike Tyson versus Logan Paul boxing match, with another WrestleMania appearance for Mike Tyson supporting Logan Paul's opponent, with Jake Paul once again supporting his brother. The WWE have been appealing to Jake Paul as much as possible to try and get him in his brother's corner in every possible moment. However, Jake Paul leads a busy life and is said to not be particularly interested in doing that. Some of us would call that a shame. Some of us would not. This is one of the ways in which Netflix are looking for sharing of the field. They want to grow using the WWE the same way the WWE grows using them. Use is the right word. Early possible opponents for WrestleMania for Logan Paul include an LA Knight rematch being discussed and a newly faced Dominic Mysterio, depending how the crowd react to that. The one thing I have heard that I'm very excited about is the idea of Mike Tyson in the corner of Bron Breakker against Logan Paul. Personally, I'd be very excited by the idea of Bron Breakker ripping Logan Paul to pieces. I'd be very down for that. One last thing I do have to say on that, the WWE have offered quite a lot of money to both Logan and Jake Paul to have a match between the two of them in a WWE ring one day. Yeah. Don't think many people want that, but WWE think it will make them a lot of money. Dan says, I love Blue Sky, so much better functionality than Twitter. I agree, it's also just less oppressive. I found myself not logging into Twitter anymore. People are engaging, people are chatting, people are having fun. I'm growing, I'm finding people, and yes, admittedly right now, a lot of the people following me are simply following back as I'm trying to learn the platform. But you know what? I'm having a great time. And it may take a while to get back to my near 10,000 followers, which was my peak on Twitter. But you know what? 579 ain't bad. Not bad at all. This time next week, if I'm sat on 1,000, I'll be a happy boy. And I'm gonna be. Hopefully, because Blue Sky is simply more visible, I get much more engagement over there than I do on Twitter. Hopefully, eventually, that new audience finds its way here. And we as a community can work together. If you are someone who enjoys Blue Sky, enjoys social media, please do consider popping over, because we are making something good there that I hope you can be proud of, and I'd love to have the community there as well to enjoy in real time what we're doing. One says, hey Tom, I've seen AEW have been doing reruns at the start of their shows lately and yet can't draw anything. Concern, or did AEW shoot themselves of any recovery? What do you mean can't draw anything? They have hundreds of thousands of viewers. Hundreds of thousands. Everton says Bron Breakker versus Mike Tyson. Not going to happen. Declan says that WWE are going to sell the mouldy cheese of Logan Paul and Mr. Beast. Logan Paul wants to try, but Prime is still their sponsor. David says, when will you be going full-time on YouTube? When I can afford it, which right now is never. Hector says you also don't have Elon Musk lurking on Blue Sky. That's already a positive for me. There's also plenty of people that have been banned already after only very, very brief appearances. Andrew Tate, for example, who is a piece of shit. He's already gone. Evidence says, have you ever tried Prime? What did you think of it? I tried it. It's just kind of dull. One says, I mean that they can't draw anything above 600k. Mate, right now, in this live stream, just to be clear, there are 69 people watching. Firstly, nice. Secondly, hit those likes. Thirdly, that is what? 0.1% at the AEW viewership? I implore you, one, do better. Because I certainly can't. 600,000 viewers is a damn good number. It is. So I get that some people aren't a fan of AEW. I'm not going to sit there and laugh at a 600,000 viewership, because that would not just be full-time numbers, that would be one show a year full-time sort of numbers. So I ain't complaining. Aaron gets it. Nice. Robin Dave says, I really don't understand why some people like Andrew Tate, because incel's going to incel. If no one's having sex with you, women are the problem, apparently. WWE are shutting down the WWE Network internationally right at the end of 2024, the beginning of 2025. I did report this previously, and Netflix are planning to basically transfer the entirety of the WWE Network onto Netflix, outside of a few things that the WWE want to keep for their own social medias and YouTube channel. They are, after all, I believe the 4th biggest YouTube channel in the world right now, which is not a bad thing to have. And also, they upload videos for like 3 hours a week. It's really a sign that YouTube does not work the same way it used to. That's $10 a day extra for me, not day, happy extra $10 day for me. I get an extra $10 a month, which I'll absolutely take, and I'll probably spend it on whatever upgrade to Netflix I'm required in order to make this one happen. God knows they're going to try and make me watch ads on Netflix. Sid says, do you like the Rizzler in AEW? Don't watch it often enough to be able to say anything about it. Everton says, The Rock about to cut the best swearing promos on Netflix. He's going to be on Raw for a reason. That leaves us then with a few more bits of news. Firstly, the WWE own Edge, but not like that. They own the word Edge, but not the entire word Edge. They own Edge for entertainment purposes, but not all entertainment purposes. They entirely own the word Edge purely for wrestling-based services and entertainment. This is a renewal of a trademark that they already have, and this is a difficult one. Now, the argument from the WWE is that they helped make Edge, which, to be fair, they did. So they should get some residual rights and profit from that. Couldn't agree more, completely understand. However, he's not with them anymore, and he's no longer benefiting from it. That's where I think it gets shady. Edge, Adam Copeland in this instance, no longer benefits from use of his features, trademark, catchphrases, anything that he also created in the WWE. So while WWE owns the word Edge purely for entertainment and wrestling purposes, I do think this is a very questionable practice, and that Edge, the wrestler who also made that name a success, should be making money from it still. This stuff needs to happen. It needs to come back around, and I want to see it again. But unfortunately, WWE gonna WWE. Aaron says, being as new to wrestling As I was mostly just consuming WWE, I've recently started watching AEW and I've enjoyed what I've seen. There are some very good things AEW does. There are some not so good things that AEW does. Same with WWE. I do think the retention rate in AEW isn't great, and that's one of the reasons the ratings are still in decline. There are easy ways to fix that, but it does go against everything they stand for. That said, Blue Sky seems to be more AEW positive than WWE positive, but we'll see how that plays out. As people migrate over, that will change. Oh, thank you, Kelly. I appreciate that. Next up, MVP has voiced his belief that his new AEW contract will be his final wrestling contract. He does still have a few problems with his knee, though he is training to improve. He is planning to retire in AEW and move on to a back office role. He's been offered a number of different possibilities, including road agent and production work. MVP is pretty good as a producer overall. He wasn't really able to flex that muscle in the WWE, though he did work to improve Bobby Lashley matches, especially in the feud between Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. Their matches don't necessarily stand out to me, but that's also not necessarily a bad thing either, because Undertaker versus Goldberg certainly stands out to me. Yeah, I went there. And finally, AEW and Tony Khan have now confirmed that they will be moving to some smaller venues in future. I do think this is a positive move. It will protect their online image and it will remove that capability of non-AEW fans to poke fun at empty arenas. However, there is also a risk that it's considered accepting defeat. I think they have to be realistic. I think the move to more international quarters will help as well. More shows in the UK, shows in Australia, etc. will genuinely help them. But right now, they're not really getting out of the US. They're working similar areas. They need to travel a bit wider. But if the venues they book aren't big enough and aren't selling enough, they can't make enough profit to make it worthwhile. It is a very difficult moment right now for AEW. They need to find some new ways of working, and more than anything, they need to push through and find a way to really get people talking again. A good Full Gear will make that happen. And hey, the Costco guys are actively making that happen. Cecil says, probably a stupid question. Why do wrestlers leak stories and why does WWE employees leak stories? What is in it for each? Never a stupid question, Cecil. So one of the reasons I get approached when I get approached is because the wrestler will be unhappy with their situation. They can't themselves say, I'm unhappy because of this. So what they'll do is approach someone in wrestling media that they trust not to release their name and their details, and who they trust to write the story in a way that doesn't shine a spotlight on them, but gets them what they want. That is what happens. You also have quite a few people backstage in WWE who will learn something and they're incredulous about it. For example, there were big reports that Goldberg was going to beat Bray Wyatt for the championship. People did run to Dave Meltzer and say that because they were simply stunned that it was happening. There is also a number of people who've approached me simply out of faith in me as a person. I've been through things, and there are a number of wrestlers who afterwards did approach me to say, look, this is what I've heard. This is what you should report. This is what will help make your name again. And I very much appreciate them for that. News on Mercedes Money comes under that category. News that Becky Lynch was returning the day before SummerSlam when she did also comes under that category. I speak with a number of people. I try and earn their trust, and then I try and be worthy of their trust. That's me, anyway. We're going to wrap up there, guys. That's all the news that I had to share today. We will be live once again on Monday as we continue to explore the different methods by which we can grow. And in the near future, we will work out how to be live on YouTube Shorts and TikTok as well. I promise you, we're going to make it eventually. It's just a journey getting there. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. I've been Tom Colohue. You've been fantastic, and I'll see you all very soon.